good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all. And we're live.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray.
And it's your homeboy Wordplay TJ.
And this is the No Rhyme or Reason podcast, where we talk about everything.
Everything for no reason at all.
We Lego?
No.
We back?
We selling bricks.
Oh! Let's get it.
Bricks and minifigs.
All white bricks.
No.
And minifigs.
No. All Lego bricks. What are we talking about?
It's a lot of white people.
Don't incriminate yourself. There's enough criminals in this conversation. So,
That was okay.
we're going to react to the Lego controversy with Reckless Ben, Bricks and Minifigs. We're going to talk about something that the hip-hop community isn't really talking about, which is fine with me, because I rather just speak about this today. And so I think I should run down the controversy for those that aren't in the know. This is going to be a very simplified version of the story. I'm going to try to do it as concisely as I possibly can. If you're curious about the whole story, please go watch Reckless Ben's original video. It may be still up. If you can't find it, there's plenty of videos being made about this controversy, so you can understand what it is. Anyway, so once upon a time in Salem, Oregon, there's an older gentleman and his son. They go by the Mansells, and they sell. You know what? Some of these people's names are so unfortunate. Mansells.
I just heard it, bro.
And then the franchise owner, her name is Crystal Law. Like, what is the irony in the story? It almost seems fake. Anyway, the Mansells sell on consignment some Lego Star Wars collection that they assume is like worth $200,000. Fast forward, we learn that it's probably about half the value, because you can't value anything that isn't sold yet unless it's properly appraised. Anyway, so they start selling these bricks on consignment through the local Bricks and Minifigs franchise. And because the franchise owner was, kind of doing some things that are considered improper by the company, she is taken over by one of the franchise owners, and they kick her out of the store, but don't realize, well, they do realize that there's still these bricks that haven't been sold.
And because got a lot of unsold product, man.
Right. And so they take over the store, and then the Mansells are saying, we want our bricks back. Why are you holding our product? That's at least $200K worth of product.
Even Ray Charles can see y'all got money.
And I need you to give that back. Well, they don't. They say if you want to get it back, you're going to have to sue us. And suing them would be way more expensive than the value of the bricks. And so they decide that they have given up. And then comes in the hero of the story, Reckless Ben. He's a YouTuber and does controversial videos, investigative journalism type of things. And he wants to help the Mansells get their Legos back, get their bricks back. And so he goes to Salem, Oregon, and he confronts the new Bricks and Minifigs franchise owners, and immediately gets kicked out of the vicinities. But he starts doing like countless antics and things in order to try to get the bricks back, and eventually falls into a class action lawsuit that he files with several of his people, because the Mansells sell their ownership of the bricks to 10 other individuals. All right.
Bricks is moving.
Well, they end up in Utah because they have to serve the papers for the class action lawsuit. But in order to serve the papers, you have to get other people involved. You can't do it if you're the plaintiff. Well, the new franchise owner, is an unfortunate name as well, Josh Johnson, starts saying that these people are threatening me, these people are harming me, these people are harassing me. And then they end up raiding Reckless Ben's Airbnb, arresting him and kicking him out of Utah and saying that you're going to be charged with these things like stalking and things of that nature. So, long story less long, they are in a legal battle. Ben was gagged for quite a bit of a time. He couldn't put out any other videos. He couldn't say anything about Bricks and Minifigs. And subsequently, people have gone out and done the franchise owners and the people that are a part of the corporation have gone out and done interviews and muddied the water and so forth and so on. And lawyers are analyzing free speech and this and that and all the other things that are a part of the case. And here we are on No Rhyme or Reason talking about it because it has consumed my earballs. And so
it's wild work.
There's a lot to say. Hopefully, I can cut most of that down in post for the video, and we can get to the actual part of the conversation where we think it matters. So this is how we're going to break it down. We've introduced the controversy, so now we want to discuss kind of Reckless Ben's actions and what our thoughts on that. Discuss the actions of the franchise, the corporation owners for Bricks and Minifigs, the police in Oregon and Utah, their issues, Mormon corruption, seemingly or allegedly, and how all of this, like, how the legal system has kind of screwed these people over. Don't do this. No, do not. Let's stay on topic. Please do not do this. What do you feel about Reckless Ben?
I feel like this gives me hope that journalism, investigative journalism, can stay alive. There's a lot of times because we've switched, to digital, like print is gone by the wayside in a lot of different places. There aren't as many journalists as there are entertainers, i.e. Stephen A. Smith and the rest of them.
I blame CNN, Fox News, corporations.
I halfway blame OJ.
Wow. Okay.
Well, the reason I blame OJ is just because that was the biggest shift in news, where they were in on that car chase and they had stopped like just doing certain parts of journalism, and so then it just spiraled to where we are today. But Ben doing these things shows that it's like it's a small thing to a lot of people, but it's big to the Mansell's family, and big to people like them. Where if you're a collector, you collect all these things. They are very valuable to you. The value increases. The Pacific Northwest is a region of collectibles in a lot of different ways, whether from gaming to trading card games to all kind of things.
This is a bunch of nerds up here.
Facts. And I love it. But so Ben doing this is something that I hope sparks more people to do so many different levels of investigative journalism, because it is very much needed. I lament things like shows like To Catch a Predator, et cetera, because there was actual things being done to like get to the bottom of certain crises, and we hopefully are just gaining that power back, basically. And so I really enjoyed a lot of what he's doing.
Yeah, I look at Ben like Robin Hood in a way.
Oh, I can see that.
He's taken his his band of merry men, gone to Utah, gone to Oregon.
I don't know why a band of merry men descended me.
Because What else am I supposed to say? That is what it is. And
True, true.
he's gone to fight for. He's going to fight the big people in order to
Yeah.
get the little people's stuff back. And ultimately, yes, we are applauding investigative journalism in a way that kind of it's more sort of what is it? I can't remember what it's called, but
Mhm.
it's a type of journalism where people are just kind of doing everything. They're kind of off the tracks, so to speak, and
Oh
um,
gosh, I know what you're talking about, but I feel
yeah,
like it's
but
close to investigative journalism. Is
it.
what when you're doing all the things like you're there,
Mhm.
talking to the people, getting the information. You're still writing a story. You have to vet everything that you have coming in. Like you're doing all things by yourself because it's kind of like being undercover.
Yeah, the way I think about it is that he's not purposely following the ethics of journalism, but like he
Ah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
he kind of is
yeah.
in some ways. But he can kind of sort of bend those rules sometimes in order to get the outcome he is.
Hmm.
He wants. I think also that comes off in some of the mistakes he makes.
True.
Um, Even though he uh, takes time to like research laws and research how to effectively do something and goes through the process of like the pain and the anguish of going through certain legal channels to do things. He's still in essence what his name is, reckless,
Yeah.
because he does it without kind of thinking through, I would say, the long term versus like his sort of immediate ambitions.
the The thing about it though is given this current landscape, it is harder to weigh those options when a lot of these corporations will play the long game. So the quote unquote nicer you try to play it as you're trying to figure out the rules and the laws and everything else, everybody basically plays themselves within the fringes of what legality means.
Hmm.
And we know that we're going to talk about that with the founders and everything. You just go as close as you can to the line so that way you can try and get something done or not get
Is
something
that the
done.
line? Boop.
Boop. And here we are in this case that could be solved so easily, but because of corporate greed and many other things, it just has gotten bigger and bigger because it's just like big corporations never want to let the one person or a little person win.
Yeah, so I think that's a good segue to part of I think could have been the solutions in the first place. Like
Mhm.
these franchise owners could have given the materials back to them, to the Mansells, so they can sell their product in a way that would help benefit their goals. Because ultimately, what the grandfather wanted to do is provide a college fund for his grandkids, and that's a very noble cause, and that's why
Yeah.
Ben is in it in the first place. Because he was like, they just want to do something great for their family, and
Mhm.
now like they have to deal with all this madness because people are being greedy.
Yeah.
Um, I also believe that like they shouldn't have dealt with Bricks and Minifix to begin with, but that's just a personal point of view. I really believe that they could have sold this stuff on Facebook Marketplace or eBay or somewhere. And I get it. Like a lot of people want to like put their hands on the product before they buy it.
Yeah.
So you can't beat that. But there's ways to kind of make that happen, especially because they were focused on staying local. So Bricks and Minifigs, this corporation, number one, they were dodgy and haphazard to begin with, right?
Yeah.
They took over the original franchise in a very hostile way. Came with the U-Haul truck to take product out of the store, and the majority of the product was the Mansell's product. They when Ben was confronting them, they lied to Ben on several occasions about what they had access to, what they knew about. They kept saying like, this is a legal dispute, you're gonna have to deal with it that way, or this is something that you need to take up with the franchise owner, but
Yeah.
won't give you contact to the franchise owner, or you go to the store and they say this is something you need to take up with corporate and won't
Yeah.
give you contact to corporate. So it's this is like huge runaround until I would say this is a twist, and so I'm going to change the conversation a little bit. The real heroes in this situation are the consumers, the internet, the Reckless Ben fans, the Lego fans, the Bricks and Minifigs fans who have come out of the woodwork and said, no, these stores, this particular store needs to be held accountable. This corporation needs to be held accountable. And y'all need to give this people stuff back. So I would say they're the heroes because they put public pressure on these individuals
Yeah.
to like make better decisions, and I think that is worth applauding for them. But the police officers are involved in this too.
This is where the plot thickens.
Kind of, I would say like so you have Salem, Oregon police officers that were involved in trespassing Reckless Ben several times, which is fine if that's the case. But like there was one point where Reckless Ben created a scheme for them to actually like so he sold some of the minifig the figures and the sets on auction. And if you do a legal raffle or lottery in Oregon, the the owners of that product could then if you manipulate that, it becomes a criminal offense, not a civil offense.
Okay.
And when Ben told the police officers about these criminal offenses, like we held this lottery and they won't give them the product, so we can get it sold.
Hmm.
And what ended up happening is that the one officer was like, "Yeah, let's investigate this
Okay.
because it's an actual crime." And then his fellow officer came to him, whispered in his ear, and then the story changes. So like that is one example of like the corruption. And then they go, like the Utah thing when they're serving papers for this class action, not this class action lawsuit, but these small claims lawsuits for the figures because that original scheme didn't work.
I was thinking about how they were trying to serve him and he just kept like ducking and dodging. That is the weirdest like legal thing that I do understand on one hand because you do have to like get to the person, but the ways in which people like be ducking divorce court, be ducking child support cases, be ducking like whatever, all because it's like I I just don't have to interact with you. I can hop out the house. I can run this way. I can hide behind a bush. I can, always be in a car with blacked out tint, and you can't say that you saw me, but you know that that's my car.
Yeah, I think you watch too much TV. That's not that common.
It might not be that common,
It's a
but
trope, but
it has happened and happened here. With that.
well, I I think the police officer is at fault for that
Yeah,
because they were supposed to hand Josh the service papers.
yeah.
They're like, we're here to serve him.
It's just a weird loophole.
We're here to serve him. He didn't get served because the police officers didn't hand him the paper.
But that's just weird. Like you knew you were there. Like even the mentioning of it by other people, because I think Rex been in the continual trying to do it now. But that goes to your loophole earlier about the plaintiff can't serve the person that they're trying to
Yeah, so he didn't have the plaintiff didn't serve him himself. He had someone that lived in the area
Yeah. It's just
go
weird.
in try to hand the paper to Johnson. Johnson called the police on them.
Yeah. It's just super weird to me, like that's a thing. That it's like I am literally just trying to quote unquote do my job, and in any other like facility of that, whether it's like if you stop somebody from delivering the mail, that's a federal offense.
Well, I think part of this is on Ben, right?
Right.
Because he could have just. I think according to Utah law, you could have put in a certified mail.
Oh.
And
Okay.
in some states you can do that, which is why I said this is a
It's not.
trope.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is not very common because you can just mail it to somebody and they can be served.
Now, quick question. I don't know if you know, and if you don't, that's fine. Like, you have to open said mail, or is it just we know it got sent?
No, if it's certified, you know it got sent. You know it arrived.
Okay. Cool. That's all I
Yeah.
want.
And so I think the issue of Josh dodging the service was he made up lies. He said that he got bomb threats. He said that like people were like going after his kids, wanted to like kill and harm him
Yeah.
physically, and nobody actually did that, or at least allegedly nobody did that because we don't know if some rando person
Yeah.
from the internet did or not. And so I I think there's another issue of the American Fort Police Department. They have, in some ways, they're the ones that raided Ben's Airbnb. They conspired with Josh Johnson allegedly in order to like get him raided
Hmm.
because they said that they claimed that Ben and his friends are the ones that were holding the Legos,
Yeah.
which is what got them raided.
And what's
And they
funny
got
though?
permission. They got permission from the Airbnb host to do the raid, and then they end up like not recovering any Legos because the raid was pointless to begin with.
Yeah.
And so it's this situation where like we're trusting these the we're trusting the criminals and not trusting the person that's trying to get accountability. And that is a whole thing within our society, just
Yeah.
believing people that, sort of quote unquote wear the suit or wear the proper or are proper in their actions. And that's why there's so much like kind of white collar corruption to begin with in the first place. I think ultimately like this situation is
Hmm.
very like Trumpian in its level of corruption.
Yeah.
It's a lot of I know this people, I know this person who knows this person who knows this person, so I'm gonna do this like I'm gonna do this thing improperly, I'm gonna or I'm gonna make these choices
Hmm.
based off of like I wanna I wanna scheme and claw my way as close to the legal boundaries as possible, like you said,
Yeah.
to wealth and fortune and just be greedy ultimately.
Yeah.
And I think that's the primary issue with these folks who call themselves the plaintiffs in the ultimate legal case.
Yeah. And I think the biggest portion I think we forget sometimes, and it's easy to forget because of the capitalistic society that we live in. Just because you have a million doesn't mean you're intelligent. Just because you made a million doesn't make you intelligent. So we're in these positions where it's like a lot of people will still take and steal and use people's successes or use people's assets to make themselves rich. It's not. It's like it's not smarter. It's just you're doing things shifty, or you're being negligent to somebody, and your morality code is low. Hence why I think a lot of when they talk about like billionaires or certain people that make a certain amount of money, they're like they have certain psychopathic tendencies because you have to disconnect from a certain level of morality to even reach certain heights in these situations, right? And you were joking with me because you didn't want me to go here, but I literally think about the founder just because of the start of McDonald's and how that happened and all those stuff and the franchises and these different paths that can come from something that could be good, that could be great, could be used to kind of build something up to cause something to grow. But like one person decided to use it for their detriment or for a negative space. And when we're not involved with like the creation of something, when we're not involved with the rise of something, we just immediately give it some form of grace. We don't search it. We don't test it against anything. We don't ask questions. It's just like, well, it makes money, therefore it must be good. It must be successful, and it had to have been done right, which we should honestly never do. Like, just not to say that you should think badly of a thing, but at least vet it. We should be a more vetting society, and that's another reason why I said why I really appreciate most of what Ben is doing. Like I said, there are some portions, like you said, that are problematic, but overall, just a life for investigative
I
journalism.
don't
So
think they're
really,
problematic. I think they're reckless. Like it just
yeah,
it just like at some point, Legal Eagle, his first name's Devin. He comes out and he says like, where were the lawyers in this to begin with?
yeah,
We should just got the lawyers involved to begin with. And yes, I know, and this is a perfect segue. Yes, the legal system is expensive, but there are some people that would take the case
yeah,
and bill you after the fact. And I think that's the issue with the legal system that a lot of people don't really know or understand is the search for who's going to help you is very difficult. It's like finding a doctor today
yeah.
in
Oh
your
my
network,
gosh,
like and finding one that will like take your care seriously
yeah.
or not finding some a doctor of color that will take your care seriously. Like all of those things are part of the issue and part of the legal system, and not to mention that lawyers are paid an exorbitant amount of money, and that amount of money could get you out of wanting to care for yourself legally just by thinking about it. Just by thinking about the costs will cause people to give up, which I feel like is a crime in and of itself.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that should be legal to give people the perception that they can't fight for themselves legally just because the cost is X.
And the loopholes of time, like you said, it's part and parcel of it costs too much to be able to do it. They can move on the fringes and move, like if they have a judge or cops, you can move things back months, years, to where it's like, hey, why can't we just schedule a court case, go here, do this? Like, even if you're trying to like fit in everybody's schedules, there is so much that we learned during COVID. Like, even if you want to just in a room, be in a Zoom meeting, have to show up to the court case with your phone, there are so many ways to not make this a labor intensive thing, to not make this so anti small person, small budget, all this other things that we just don't seem to do in an ever changing society where the legal system, is more of a risk aversion thing than
It's
a helping people thing.
it's outdated.
Yeah.
It's sorely outdated. It's cumbersome. It's not using technology to its full advantage in some cases. It does use technology when it needs something out of you, right?
Facts. Bruh.
They could schedule a Zoom hearing if they actually need you to show up to something, but or they want to like book you with
Yeah.
traffic tickets, whatever it may be. But regardless, civil disputes are really difficult to manage. Where's this case currently?
Oh, yeah.
So I think I shared that the the plaintiffs, so the Bricks and Minifigs versus Reckless Ben and his associates, have there was a temporary restraining order on Ben to put out. It couldn't put out any more information. Couldn't put out any more videos, and so he has several videos that were in the can, ready to go.
Hmm.
And that restraining order, that temporary restraining order signed by a judge, was put that to a stop. A few days ago, and this is today is what, June 7th, 27th.
Hmm.
A few days ago, there was a joint filing by the plaintiffs and the defendant saying that we were going to agree to these terms. Ben could put out videos and that type of thing, and we're going to go to mediation. Then, only
Genius.
days or so later, Ben and his team have filed in federal court, taking it out of the state court's hands, taking away from the judge that originally ruled on the restraining order, and now it's going to go to a federal case. I don't know the details of that because I haven't heard anybody talk about it yet, but that is where it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you go down the rabbit hole and get into this controversy and learn about it and speak about it. But ultimately, that's what we got for this.
Yeah. And again, the cheers to the little person. Cheers to the person that, like, you might not feel like somebody cares, but somebody does care. Like, there are communities of people that you can connect with in society that will help you do that thing that you think is just only important to you, but really is important to a lot of other people. So be encouraged by that. And be encouraged to watch this entire video of us discuss this Lego thing, because I find it very interesting because it's a David Goliath thing. It's got a lot of meat to it. I hope that you find some meat to it. But wait, find Bricks.
Just close this out.
Um,
Comment.
like, subscribe.
Don't find me.
Hit the bell notification so you can be notified for every time we drop a video. We'll see you guys in the next one, a 1 and a 2, and peace.